Today we are going to talk about tourism and some basic terms in tourism. So, what is tourism? Tourism is an economic activity. That is why we often refer to tourism as tourism industry or travel industry. It is important to note that industry here means a group of businesses that produce a particular kind of goods or services. So, in this sense, industry does not mean the process of producing material goods in factories, but it has another sense of economic activities belonging to the same field. Tourism consists of several components. The first component is transportation, because people obviously need to get to their destinations first. The second component is accommodation, also called lodging, because tourists need a place to stay. Food and beverage provided by restaurants, bars, cafes are also an important part of tourist experience. Finally, we should not forget the motivating factors for tourists. Tourists come to a destination in order to see attractions, to participate in certain activities, or to get entertained. That is why entertainment, attractions, and activities are also considered an important component of tourism. So, as we said, transportation is one component of tourism. People can travel on their own, by car, for example, but very often they use the services of transportation companies or public transport companies. When we talk about airlines, usually we use the word carrier to refer to the transportation company. So when we talk about airline companies, very often we talk about carriers. The largest segment of tourism is called hospitality. Hospitality is a combination of accommodation and food and beverage industry. So finally, who are tourists? By definition, tourists are people who travel for pleasure or business and stay in a destination for less than 1 year. People who travel by plane, train, bus, or ship are called passengers, while in hospitality we use the terms guests, customers, or clients to refer to people who use hospitality services. Now it's time to focus on the words tourist and tourism when they are used as adjectives. Normally, tourist or tourism are used as adjectives to describe a noun. For example, we say a tourist guide, a tourist destination, or tourism development or tourism industry. However, there is a word touristy that can also be used but with a different meaning. If we say that a place is touristy, it means that it is full of tourists or attractive to tourists. However, this word usually has negative connotation. So when we say that one island is a touristy island, actually we think that it's too crowded. A touristy restaurant, on the other hand, may be a little bit overcrowded or just a place that tourists like to visit, as opposed to places that are visited by locals. The opposite of touristy would be non-touristy, non-typical of tourists. Very often it is used in positive context. In this photo, you can see one advertisement for 10 non-touristy things to do in Orlando. Tourist resorts are places where people go on holidays with lots of hotels, bars, and restaurants. Here you can see the word tourist used as an adjective next to the word resort. Tourist resorts are not equally visited throughout the year. High season is the time of the year when a resort is visited most, while low season is the time of the year when fewer tourists visit it, so that customers are often offered discounts or off-season rates. In other words, lower prices than during high season. Cultural and natural heritage sites are a part of tourist attractions. Let's focus on the two words that have the same pronunciation but different spelling. The first word in the slide is the word sights, S-I-G-H-T-S. This word means things to see. It is usually used in plural, and one example is the sentence, "Can you show me the sights?" This word is derived from the verb to see, so this sentence means, "Can you show me the places worth seeing?" The second word, pronounced sight, has a different spelling, S-I-T-E, and it means a place or location. For example, we can say this was the site of the battle, meaning this was the place, the location of the battle. In the construction a World Heritage Site, this second word is used. So we say Taj Mahal is listed as a World Heritage Site, as a place where we can see cultural heritage. Or another example, what are the most famous cultural and natural heritage sites in your country? In other words, what are the places with rich cultural and natural heritage in your country? Finally, the last word that we are going to explain when we talk about tourism is the word package tour, also called package holiday or tour package. It is a combination of transportation and accommodation advertised and sold together. When we talk about history of tourism, we will see that package tours were introduced to the general public somewhere in the 19th century and have been popular ever since. Development of tourism was long and varied. There were lots of changes in the means of travel, lots of changes in the types of accommodation. Also, in different periods in tourism, independent travel or mass tourism took place. In our next lesson, we will talk about history of tourism in more detail.